Welcome to Impetus Grants Overview. My name is Janet and I'm one of the Grant Review Committee co-chairs. On behalf of Impact 100, I'd like to welcome you today and thank you for joining us for Impetus Grants Committee training. We're a group of women who care about Sonoma Valley, stepping up and meeting unprecedented challenges of this pandemic with a strong and optimistic vision for our community for the new year. And we're so glad you joined us. Before we begin, I'd like to start with some definitions we're going to be using during our presentation today. NPO, nonprofit organization. FRC, Financial Review Committee. GRC, Grant Review Committees. Impetus Grant Co-Chairs. Impact 100 Board Members. This gives an overview of the 2021 Impetus Grants process. I will go over each of these steps in more detail. How to join and be involved. Each member donates $1,000 by the donation deadline of January 13th, 2021. All paid members are eligible to participate on a Grants Review Committee and receive an email invitation to sign up by December 1st, 2020. All 2021 members are encouraged to attend a virtual annual meeting in January 2021. How NPOs apply for grants. Applications for up to $25,000 are submitted by local nonprofits. NPOs must be located in and/or serve in Sonoma Valley to qualify. They must also be tax exempt under Section 501(c)(3). NPOs must submit their Impetus Grant applications online by January 21st, 2021. Grant Review Committee's responsibilities. GRCs review applications, perform site visits, and choose finalists. The role of GRC members requires each member to sign an online confidentiality conflict of interest form. Each committee member must complete online training by mid-January. In advance of their committee meeting, they read the relevant materials so they can actively participate in the meetings. Also, GRC members are expected to attend online committee meetings and at least one virtual site visit. After the committee reviews all of the information gathered, they'll vote on the status of the proposals and forward the results to the Impetus Grant co-chairs, who then contact the finalists. The finalists. Finalists present projects and members vote. NPO finalists present their projects to the Impact 100 membership at a virtual Meet the Finalists on March 20th, 2021. Impact 100 members vote for their selections online from March 21st to March 27th, 2021. Awards. Grants of up to $25,000 are awarded. Impetus Grant winners are announced at a virtual celebration on March 31st, 2021. 100% of members' donations are given directly to local nonprofits. Thank you for your attention. Now, for more background information, I give you my co-chair, Cheryl.
Thank you, Janet. In the next 3 slides, I will give you some background on the 2021 grant design process and then describe what an Impetus grant is. Over the summer, a grants task force was formed to assess the pandemic's impact on the Sonoma Valley nonprofit community. The task force conducted a member survey and interviewed 29 NPO executive directors to understand their needs and priorities. While it was difficult for the directors to identify definitive plans for 2021, they did emphasize 4 expected spending priorities. Their technical systems to support the new reality of the pandemic, staff retention and training on new technology and the handling of issues such as stress and equity, rent and overhead as it relates to space redesign and supplies needed for social distancing, and finally, childcare for clients, staff, and volunteers. As you can imagine, flexibility was mentioned often as key to adapting in changing circumstances. As the task force moved forward with their planning, they recognized several points that guided them towards the final configuration of the 2021 grant. First and foremost, the nonprofits needed immediate relief. The sooner the grant money was available, the better. With this awareness, the task force saw an opportunity to innovate on past grant approaches and to build on the member priorities identified in the summer survey, namely the need to support long-term NPO sustainability and to evolve the grant-making approach in light of the current pandemic. A variety of grant models were assessed. The one selected enables Impact 100 to leverage our role as a leading funder in the Valley and spread our funds broadly to strengthen our nonprofit community as a whole. The 2021 grants are called Impetus grants. Why Impetus, you might ask? Well, there are 3 definitions of impetus that relate to this selection. Impetus as a driving force, impetus as an incentive or stimulus, and impetus as an encouragement resulting in increased activity. Given these definitions, the word impetus fits well with our grant-making goal this year, namely to provide our NPOs with a boost to get over their fiscal challenges related to the pandemic and onto the road to recovery in 2021. We will have only one type of grant this year with a maximum of $25,000 per grant. This design supports simplicity and enables us to spread our funds broadly to maximize our impact. The Impetus grants will be directed towards sustaining and strengthening the nonprofit organization's core mission and will be available by the end of March 2021. This earlier availability of funds achieves our desire to support the nonprofit's ongoing needs as soon as possible. Thank you for your time and attention. The next training module is Grants Committee members' roles and responsibilities.